you through the program today.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Next, I want to introduce our special guests of today. So first of all, we have Anna with us from SIG. Hi, Anna. Maybe you want to quickly...
Hi. Yeah, I'm super happy to be here. Thank you, Markus.
Thank you very much, Anna. Anna will introduce herself later on in more detail, but a quick intro from my side. Anna is globally responsible at SIG for learning and development. And throughout the whole implementation process, she was my partner in crime in promoting everything internally and setting everything up. And I just quickly want to mention a super nice experience that we had together. Anna organized a call just before the launch that we then conducted together, where we presented the solution and which we also used in order to promote, but also to explain why we actually do what we do. And it was, for me, it was a super nice experience because we had around 200 participants from SIG, being HR representatives, senior managers. And the coolest part was that also some coaches took part, coaches that had experience already with Better Coach coaching services in a pilot phase. And it was super nice to hear their first-hand experience with our platform. So yeah, thank you, Anna, for organizing that, and looking forward to your part later on. Next, we have Guido with us, located in Shenzhen. Hi, Guido.
Hi, I'm happy to be here today. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks for being here. Short intro from my side about Guido. Guido has actually two perspectives on the business world. On the one side, he's a senior manager, and on the other side, he's a business coach himself. And today he will share his perspective as a coach with us, as a coach working in a very international context. And I'm very much looking forward to his insights on how he approaches coachees from different cultural backgrounds. So very much looking forward to that. And before we start, I also want to just quickly say a few words about us, about Better Coach. So we do what we do because we want to help individuals, teams and organizations as a whole with their very diverse development challenges that they have. And with our holistic solution, we facilitate very diverse development measures, programs, etc. And we try to address the specific needs at hand, and in order to create a substantial impact for the people. And overall, we want to establish leadership cultures that offer enough room for reflection, and that also try, or in which the humans play a central role. And this also leads us to the topic of today, organizing the introduction of a global coaching offer, and thereby potentially initiating the development of a coaching culture within the organization. And I would say, let's get started. We will start with Anna's perspective on the topic, followed by Guido's. And then, as I said, we have enough time for your questions, and all the questions that we can't answer today, we are very happy to answer as a follow-up. But before we start, Franzi, did I forget anything to mention?
No, I think you covered everything well for now. Thank you, Markus, for giving us this introduction to the speakers and also today's topic. And now I think we're all very curious to hear more about Anna's experiences and learnings as Global Learning and Development Manager at SIG. And yeah, so Anna, the stage is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you both for this. Okay, so I'm happy to see you all. Let me first give you a little bit of context so you know what I'm talking about and who I am. I joined SIG 2 years ago. Before that, I was a consultant all my life. I worked with a lot of companies. First a senior trainer, then a coach myself at one point, then started focusing more and more on leadership and leadership development in organizations. When I joined SIG 2 years ago, I think this is important to mention, it was a very interesting moment. I did not find a learning culture like I would have liked to find, but I saw that as a really great opportunity to build one. And this is why it was exciting for me, because when I joined, I realized that it was one of the classical companies with just an L&D department where you organize some trainings every year and people come to trainings or don't come to trainings and then go back to what they were doing, and that's it. And that was what was happening 2 years ago. It was just the beginning of real learning and development. And I remember very clearly that one of my first questions was, do we have coaching? Do we have mentoring? Do we have developmental programs? And it was, again, the beginning of everything. We had just one program for operations, for leaders from operations globally. But that was a very good beginning, because I saw personally that as an opportunity to test a lot of other learning and development tools that we could have and methods and so on, starting with that program. And that's how we got in touch with Better Coach. It began with that little program for operations leaders. I think, like in many other companies, like SIG, where you have production sites all over the world, operations is super important. So it was a program that it started as being important. Everyone was watching it, from the CEO to all the other departments, to see what's happening, because it's the first time. And it was a great opportunity for us to test coaching. And we started working with Better Coach. I was happy to see that you guys at Better Coach are so open to a pilot. That was great for me, because I knew I couldn't just directly introduce a global coaching platform to a company where everything was still beginning from the point of view of learning and development. And this was a great opportunity. We started with a pilot, with a 6 months pilot, with 13 people, if I remember correctly. Initially it was 15, and then we were down to 13 participants in that program. All of them operations leaders who we wanted to develop. It was a large program with a lot of different initiatives, coaching being one of them. And we said, if we get, good feedback on this program, definitely these are important key people in the organization who can drive further the news that, coaching really can help you developing yourself, something I always believed in. And it was a success. The program overall, it lasted for a year, 6 months. They also had coaching on the side. We gave them 7 hours of coaching, to each of them 7 sessions. And it was part of the program. It was paid by the sponsor of the program, our CTO in the organization, and it was a very good chance for everyone. The feedback was even better than we expected. Honestly, I expected to have at least 1 or 2 people who would say, yeah, it was okay, not a big deal. But literally all 13 participants were super happy with the coaching sessions, and they were like discovering something for the first time. Most of them never had coaching before. It wasn't a coaching culture in SIG, and probably most of them didn't have it before in other companies. Also, I think it's worth to mention to you that most of our SIG employees have been with the company for many, many years. So we have people with many years here, and it's normal that they didn't have this before. The feedback was really good, and then we could work with this. We could take all these experiences, talk to all these operations leaders, see how it can be even better, and how can we build this slowly in the organization. Of course, we promoted the result to all of our important stakeholders in SIG. I talked a lot about coaching with all our HR responsibles, just so that you can understand our context. I am part of a global center of expertise, so we answer directly to the vice president on HR, and I work closely with all the regions, with Americas, with Europe, with Asia Pacific, and now we also have Middle East, Africa, so we cover almost everything, and it's super important for us to always get local and regional HR on board, so we can implement our measures, what we dream to do globally. And this is how it started. I started presenting these really good results to the heads of HR and then to a lot of senior managers across the organization. And we decided, let's try this globally. It should, because otherwise we should have this, otherwise we'll never grow into the culture we want to have when it comes to learning. And now we have more development programs like that one, and also we have launched coaching globally. What Marcus was mentioning was the official launch, where we invited all our senior managers globally and all our HR community. It doesn't matter if they're heads of HR or literally all the HR community, to be there to learn about Better Coach, learn about the opportunities. I'm very pragmatic with this. I know that we launched it this year, a few months ago. I know we won't have a lot of coaching requests right away, because it takes time. But what I see in the background, what I can tell you that is happening now that we launched it officially, and after launching it with HR and senior managers, we launched it publicly to all our organization on the intranet. What I'm doing now is I'm having conversations with all the regions. I'm having presentations where we go through what coaching is, what mentoring is, and most importantly, how should we develop criteria in each region, which people should go through coaching, which shouldn't, how do we take those decisions, because it's important to budget for next year. Most of the managers I've spoken to already have budgeted for next year coaching, because now they know we have this opportunity. But the most important conversations we have now are, how do we choose? And this is a great opportunity to link coaching to everything else we have. We're carrying conversations on looking on people's development plans, look at their development needs, see what comes out of it. We're again educating our managers on, look at the development needs. Can you cover it honestly just with the training? Do you need more? I see there a question already, what was your main objective? And I can answer you directly because it's part of my finishing speech. I'm conscious of time. I know I don't have much time left, but I want to say that our main objective is to offer everyone in SIG a chance to a very good pool of tools when it comes to learning and development. So we envision that everyone should have a development plan, and when they look at their development and the objectives they have to develop themselves, they should have options, not only leaders, everyone in SIG on all levels. They should look and see, okay, I want to develop this skill. Is it enough with the training? No. Would coaching be better for me? Then great, I have this platform, it's ours in SIG, I can directly go into it, it's so easy, I know the rates, my manager has budgeted this for this year. This is what we envision. We want people to have the opportunity to choose what's the best fit for their development. And this is why now we have trainings, this coaching platform offered globally, mentoring programs that we're kickstarting this autumn, and a few other development programs which are more complex and directed to certain populations. Okay, I think I feel that I should take a break and
Yes, thank you so much, Anna, for your valuable insights and for ad hoc answering questions. Yeah, I feel that our audience will have a lot more questions for you later. But first, I would like to welcome Guido to our speaker's desk. And he also prepared some slides that we will show during his speech. So a very warm welcome to you, Guido.
Thank you. Good. 2-3 words to me. So I am working as a plant manager in Shenzhen. This is my third plant which I'm leading. I've been before in purchasing, and coaching is more or less a hobby, but also a challenge, because if I want to coach others, first of all, I need to apply management by coaching with my own team, which I think is working quite well, because there's a second turnaround I'm doing in a plant. And if I'm coaching, I also would like to incorporate what I'm coaching to people. So it's a daily challenge for me to continue. Good. I would like to start with the presentation, if that's okay.
We can see.
Good. Please, next. So I can go to the next page myself. Thank you. Good. Well, I think SIG is a company which is working in 68 countries, has, I think, 5,500 people, and globalization is very important today. Yeah. So we have 195 countries in interdependent multidimensional relations with trade, with capital and investment, migration and movement of people, and also dissemination of knowledge. And why do I start with this? It's important to understand that in a global context, there are a lot of different dimensions. Yeah, how you are. Now we should stay with the page, with the second page. Thank you. Is it how you are telling things, how you're communicating? It's direct, it's indirect, high context, low context, how you're giving feedback. Are you doing things consensual, like a little bit more in Korea partly, or more top down, like in China or in France? So you really have to understand how people are working. And if a person is part of a network, which with SIG and also my own company here is definitely the case, you have to understand the dimensions, you have to feel it, you have to have the right emotional intelligence, and you have to understand how to use it. How to use means that sometimes, even if in a very indirect culture, the question is how to say something direct. When I'm talking with my team and I'm not happy, I tell them, well, I'm not happy. We are observing this and the situation, this and this is happening, and we have to solve that. Yeah. So you can be very, very direct with Chinese people, but if you wrap it into a nice package of humor and good intention, it always works. And this one is, of course, very important in a global context. So can we go to the next page? I currently have lost the control. So, and this is also important for coaching. We have targets of a coach, which of first is development of the coachee. And finally, because Anna just mentioned some sponsors, they want to have something back. This means I have to make sure that the coaching, of course, is supporting the business results, even when the coachee might not be aware of what the business results are. Yeah. If we talk about departments in silos, I'm not very sure whether every department is optimizing themselves or whether they really think about the big target to improve an organization. And the coachee has to understand it and help the coachee. The next thing is to provide challenge and awareness. So coach is there not always to say yes, but also to ask sometimes difficult questions. And as I just said, if you have the right way how to do that, the coachee is accepting it, and you're opening up to for a change. The next thing is focus on results. There are some coaches who like to procrastinate. So the question is how to bring the right results. And one important thing, and this is why I marked it in yellow, especially, it's sharing of experience. Especially in Asia, but I also have German coaches who ask me, what are you doing? What would you recommend? A coach is not there to say what the coachee should be doing. But I have a lot of experience from being unemployed, almost being killed 2 times, whatever that is, a lot of challenges, yeah, and bad experiences. The good thing is I always conquered that. I'm a very happy person finally. And also in Chinese, you say that, I forgot the English word, I'm sorry, I have the Chinese and the German now in my head. Failure is the mother of success. And this is exactly the case in everything. And then I can share authentically, because I assume I already had the case, yeah? And I can share it with my coachee, opening up for him to understand that there is always a way out, and then providing a base that the coachee can look for his own way how to solve the situation. Another thing, it's very important in management and coaching that you really like to work with people and you really from your heart want the coachee's benefit. For me, it's no problem because I don't depend on coaching. Of course, I don't want to do it for free because otherwise people will not appreciate it. But I like to help people. And my inner feeling is later I will get something back, whether it's the universe, God, the people themselves. I don't care about it. But with this positive intention, you have a base for coaching. And until now, it always worked out. You need, of course, coaching experience and tools, the right questions, the right stories, metaphors, whatever that is. And you need emotional intelligence to really sense what can you do, but also own emotional intelligence. This means even when I'm very angry, then my awareness not high enough. If I'm aware of that, I need 5 seconds to calm down completely and forget about that. And this is also very helpful when you're managing people and helps them to understand that they can do it by themselves. The next thing is competency for cross-cultural dimensions, as Judd said, because this will increase your awareness how to deal with people. And people are not people. People are in a certain culture. This can be a company, this can be a country, this can be the friends, this can be a club they're working in, whatever that is. And this cultural competency helps me as a coach to understand my coachee and to react in the right way and make the right suggestions. And finally, what also helps me, this is connecting with the sharing of experience. That's practical working experience. This means if somebody from purchasing asking me how to reduce prices, how to deal with the suppliers, I'm also giving trainings on how to negotiate, how to convince my boss. I always need to convince my boss because he's never making decisions. You can take a very humorous way and motivate people to try the same things, help people to understand what might happen. Yeah. So this is my mixture for coaching. And I think in SIG, it's also working quite well. Also need to confirm, Anna, you have a very nice people and very nice company culture. Yeah, it's really great. I can suss that because my company also has a very good culture and I think I'm part of it to establish that. But in order, well, coming back to this is my package for being successful in globalized coaching with different people in different stages of development. Okay, thank you.